I'm going live, and you are looking live. It's Sold Out at Life Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. And why the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there? Is anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope there's anybody out there that's going to watch any of the replay this once again. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I can use all the support I can get, guys. Thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say? Please feel free. Fire away. Throw in the chat box. I try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if anything, anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away. Plus, sometimes instead of me just like rambling on for like 30 minutes or whatever, it's nice to just talk to somebody sometimes. So please feel free, fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, there's the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. You click on it. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if anybody wants to help support my channel out, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Next, if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified, and it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But so I said, if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold on, I got it. Almost every time I start talking, my dog, he's got to get in the action. So I got to move the chair so he can get down here, so he can get next to me. So I got to start petting him. That's too much. And finally, if you go in the description box, there's 2 Facebook links. Okay, the top Facebook link takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Now I say this all the time. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and the Facebook page, all pretty much are called New York Giants, the Gridiron, because it's even a moron like me, I can remember it. I don't go like, what's my YouTube channel called? What's the group called? What's the page? It's all called the same thing. All right. What do we got? We're up to over 2,900 members in the group. Okay. It's growing slowly. It doesn't grow that fast in the off season, but during the regular season was going pretty good, but we're close to 3,000 members, getting close. I put stuff in there every day. I try to get up to about 10 different things in here, whether it's a picture, a post, a video, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys or whatever, right? But I try to get stuff in there every day, 7 days a week. Also, if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in here, but the members put stuff in here as well, too. All right. So there's a ton of New York Giants stuff going in there every day. Then also, okay, the second Facebook link, right? You click on it, it takes you to my Facebook. It's the page. Okay. I'm the administrator in the group, so I'm the only one that posts anything in the page. But we have over 1,000 people who like it, and we have over 4,200 people following it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Actually, was it about 2 days ago? I think we were over 4,100. So right now we're at over 4,200 people following it. Fantastic. And I said it's the same thing. I post stuff in here every day. It's 7 days a week. I'm always put stuff in here. So and I pretty much what I do, I don't like commingle them. Okay, so whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group. Whatever I put in the group, I don't put in the page. But if you go to if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, between the two, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day. And like I say in every video, if you go there and you like and you follow and you become a member, if you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All that stuff said and done, out of the way with. What are the Giants going to do here? Right? What are they going to do at with the quarterback position? Not only so much that, okay, but in the draft. But something else I saw, which was kind of odd. I mean, good old O.J. Simpson. Boy, I'll tell you, he's been kind of out of the limelight there for a little while and everything. But he's speaking out here on Mr. Saquon. Okay, him and Mike Parsons too. Okay, let's see here. My good old Micah Parsons. He's speaking out on behalf of he had a tirade. The man likes to curse a lot. Micah Parsons. He's a cursor. But he says in this this is Fan Nation here, the Dallas Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons knows a thing or two about what it takes to stop Giants Saquon Barkley. And let's see, where's he at here? Where I mean, Parsons like, I mean, yeah, that's what happens when you the best players on your team, you idiot, Parsons wrote. The scheme on Monday morning is we will not let Saquon Barkley beat us. People just think we be out here playing free for all, like GTFO. That MF is that offense. Pay him. Man likes to curse a lot. Parsons speaks through two lenses, not only speaking for a former fellow Nittany Lion, both coming from Penn State, right? But also as an opponent of Barkley, who better about goes on defensive meeting rooms ahead of playing the Giants, who sees him 2 times a year. Parsons has a point. Giants offense did run through Barkley as he ran for 1,312 yards and 10 touchdowns en route to a playoff berth, right? However, no matter how good of a game Barkley has, his presence is enough to have defenses focused on stopping him, which is true. But, I mean, you also got to figure out, too, I mean, it says, but fair, skeptical of giving a running back big contract, Barkley already possesses an injury history. So, and seeing the decline of other backs after second contract should make anyone worried. So, but could you imagine? I mean, you got to realize also, like, imagine if we didn't trade, right, with the Bears and jump back to. Could you imagine if we would have? We wouldn't have got. We wouldn't have got Kadarius Toney, right? We wouldn't have gotten their was pick number 7. So we could have had Evan Neal, but we may not have had Evan Neal because you figure last year, if we didn't make that trade, we would have just had 1 first-round pick. We would have had the pick 5, okay? But could you imagine if we didn't take Evan Neal, right? Say we didn't trade with the Bears, okay, a couple of years ago, right, in the draft, right? So, and then say, we stayed put because remember the Eagles jumped in front of us and took DeVonta Smith, right? Well, so say we stayed put, right, and we took Micah Parsons. Could you imagine that? And then say last year when the draft came around, say pick number 5, we probably would have taken Evan Neal because we need a tackle. But could you imagine we took Kayvon? Could you imagine that? Having Okarike and Micah Parsons in the middle, 2 middle linebackers. Could you imagine that? And then Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, right? And you could imagine Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau. Wow. Could you imagine that front 6 right there? Wow. That would be impressive. That would be very, very impressive. Of course, we wouldn't have Darren Waller because because that 3rd-round pick that we got. That's the one we got from the Chiefs that we traded for Waller. So, it's all, this and that. But if we'd stayed put and we got Micah Parsons, wow, he was special talent. But not only is he talking about talking up Saquon Barkley, but O.J. Simpson, fresh out of jail. Gotta love him, baby. Huh? O.J. Simpson's been a vocal supporter of the Giants running back Saquon Barkley. Now, you got to give the Juice some credit because the Juice in his time in the 70s was a very, very, very good running back. It was when the Bills had a very good offensive line. It was tough to stop him, even when you knew he was going to get the ball. Okay. It was still very, very tough to stop him. Okay. I believe the Giants only played him. The Giants played the Bills 2 times in the 70s when they had O.J. Simpson. They played him in 1970. O.J. Simpson was hurt. The Giants wound up winning that game, 20-6, I believe it was, at Yankee Stadium. But so they didn't play against O.J. Simpson. The next time, and the only other time that when he was with the Bills, I believe they played against them. He did. They played against them when he was with the 49ers, and they beat him. Okay, but by the time he got to the 49ers, he was kind of like a shell of himself. He just had carried a lot of carries. He would decline him. But when they played him in 1975, they played him on Monday Night Football, the Giants and the Bills. It was in Buffalo. That was the only 2 times in the 70s that the Giants actually won a Monday Night Football game. They don't have a very good record on Monday Night Football. But they beat the Bills. The Bills, I believe, were up 14-0, and the Giants came back, tied it up, and then Craig Morton drove him down the field, and George Hunt kicked the game-winning field goal with about 10, 20 seconds to go in the game. It was like a 39-yarder or something like that. Whatever. The Giants wound up winning 17-14. So that was the only other time that they had to face. That was the only, as far as with the Bills, that they had to face O.J. Simpson. And O.J. Simpson had like 126 yards rushing, I think, that night. But the Giants did wind up beating them. But I mean, the Juice, he was good. He was good, right? It says here in a short Twitter video posted earlier this week, Simpson argues that the Giants aren't capable of winning without Barkley, and that no one on the team should be earning more than him. Well, I mean, he said he understands the core. I listened to the video here. It says he understands the quarterback situation, but he said there should be nobody else on the team that makes more money than him. Now, he said also to be fair, OJ was saying he's only going to make $10 million. Well, the Giants did try to sign him to a contract for about $13 million. Okay. Now, as still, I mean, Leonard Williams is making more than him. Daniel Jones is making more than him. Okay. Let me see here. Yuck. Trying to see here. Salary cap. Here we go. Spot Track. Spot Track's my favorite. Let's see. Daniel Jones, Leonard Williams. So, I mean, O.J. Simpson. Adoree Jackson. Yeah. Because you got Dexter Lawrence is going to make $12 million. Andrew Thomas is going to make 10. Okay. But if Saquon Barkley signed the contract that they had for him last year was around $13 million, Saquon would be the 4th highest guy played on the team behind Adoree Jackson, Daniel Jones, and Leonard Williams. So, but O.J. Simpson is kind of saying, the Giants, should pay the guy. He shouldn't be that far down on the list as far as on the team, as far as getting paid. Now, as I said, he's got a good, but things have also changed when because back when OJ was, running, I mean, the guys didn't make much money, period, right? But I mean, back then, running backs could kind of argue about making money and all, and running backs certainly made more money than offensive linemen. Now you got offensive tackles making. I mean, Lane Johnson, I think they signed him. I think he's going to make like $33 million in 2026. So now you got right tackles making twice as much money as a top running back. All right, go figure, right? But back when the Juice was playing in the 70s, I mean, the running backs, were obviously higher valued than a tackle, right? Or an offensive lineman or a wide receiver or a cornerback, right? The running backs were special back then. Now it's almost totally flip-flopped. I mean, here it is like almost 50 years later, and pretty much one of the least valued players on the team is a running back. And actually it seems like their value almost seems to be coming down, right? Everything else is going up. Tight ends, wide receivers, quarterbacks, tackles, guards. I mean, everything. Everybody's going up, except running backs are coming down. So things have changed a lot. But so you got, Micah Parsons, you got O.J. Simpson trying to talk on the behalf of Saquon Barkley, trying to get the man paid. I guess you can't blame him. Hopefully something works out. I mean, I think it was the video I did last night. I mean, I would be shocked if Saquon, didn't play. He's only got so many more years left. I mean, even if he takes this year off and he doesn't put any, look at it. I mean, even if he totally takes the year off, totally rests himself up, he'll be another year older, right? He still has a lot of touches on his body, a lot of touches, right? I said, if he winds up playing this season and he gets 300 touches, he'll have, like, between rushes and pass receptions, he'll have 1,500 touches, okay, after this season. So I was kind of mentioning about this, like, last night in my video, he's going to sign, hopefully if they don't work out a contract, he'll sign the tag, right? He'll play this year. Now, I was saying last time my video is that I don't know if the tag's going to be available to him next season, because say if something don't work out with Sexy Dexy, they might need the franchise tag Sexy Dexy next year. Well, what if they want to try to franchise tag Xavier McKinney? They might have to use the franchise tag on him, right? So now the problem is, if they don't have the franchise tag for Saquon, they sign him for this 1 year. Okay, if they can't work somewhere along the line, they can't work out a long, a nice 3-4 year deal for him, right? Well, he might have to hit the open market next year, but now he's going to be another year older. Now he's going to be 27. Now he's going to have another 200-300 touches on him. So as I said, he might have like 1,500 between rushes, rushing attempts, and pass reception, like 1,500. He's going to be 27. So he's going to try to go out into the market and he's going to try to get $15-16 million next year. When there's a bunch of good running backs coming out of the draft this year, and the running back market's coming down as far as money and all and everything. I mean, really, really, really would have benefited him to sign that one. I mean, because what I was just reading and all that is everything. They tried to get like $12.5 million initially, and then I think they bumped it up to around 13. He's trying to, I guess, hold out, try to prove a point and all and everything. But, I don't know how much they're not going to, they got a value, right? And they just, well, all right, well, Saquon's right. We'll give him 15. I mean, he might they might somehow maybe come up a little over 13, but they're not going to, I'm not going to say they're going to break the bank for him. And, if they give him somehow to come up with another $13 million contract, the man really should be, I really think he should sign it. I mean, especially if it's for 4 years, right? And he gets like half of, like, what would be like 13. So it'd be 13, 4 years, 52 million. And like half of it's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. You know what I mean? It's, half of it is like 24, 25, 26 of it's guaranteed, right? Well, yeah. His agent misread the market. Yeah. Oops. I mean, oh, man. My bad, Saquon. Yeah, I missed that one. I mean, because he got like Sanders coming from Philadelphia playing with the Eagles, right? And he went out and free agent tested that. What is he, like, signed like a $6-7 million a year mark with the Panthers? Now he's not Saquon. He never is, never will be. He played behind the best offensive line in football. That's why he has very good numbers and all and everything. He's a good running back, but, he's not worth Saquon, but he's only getting like, he's getting like maybe like half of what Saquon, that one deal was for Saquon. I mean, who he got with Pollard? I mean, he got like franchise tag. Somebody else got franchise tags. He got a couple of those other good running backs going to be making $10 million, right? You got all these good running backs coming out, and it just seems like a lot of teams, starting to go toward the running back by committee. We can get 2 good running backs in there, which is fine. What you can't do, okay, is what the Giants had. I said this in my video, last night. Is you can't have the Tiki Barber, Rondane, Thunder and Lightning kind of thing going on, because when back in 2000, right, when Tiki had I think he had like 1,000 yards rushing. I think Ron Dane it was his best season. Had like about 800 yards rushing. It was like 1,800, I think it was, somewhere right around there. But Tiki goes on the field. Okay, all right, Tiki's on the field. Okay, this could be a pass or it could be a run. Why? Well, because Tiki's good at running. He's good at pass receptions, right? So it doesn't matter. He's on the field. It could be anything, right? Then Tiki would run off the field, right? On the field comes Ron Dane. You're like, yeah, it's going to be a run. And it's the defense like, oh, it's Ron Dane. Okay, it's going to be a run. Or if it's a pass, all right, well, if it's a pass, I'm not going to worry about Ron Dane. You know what I mean? You want to get those two guys, maybe can be like a different type of guy. Maybe one guy could be good upside in the tackle. One maybe a change of pace guy who could be good around the edge. But you want guys that both can pass protect. I know I'm asking for a lot here. Also, don't get me wrong, but also guys that who could be good in the pass game as well too. They can be change of pace. One guy could be, I say, good north and south. One guy could be fast around the edge. But you don't want one guy. Oh, this guy's coming in the game. Yeah, it's probably a run. You don't want that. But but a lot of teams are going to that, and especially if you wind up, the way a lot of teams are going, if you can get a couple good wide receivers and you got the passing game going, the passing game opens up the run game, right? I mean, a lot of the way it used to be back in the day, you had a good run game that opened up the pass game. Well, now it is a little different. Now you got the passing game opens up the run game, and if you get, you don't have to be a Saquon Barkley to, be a good running back, but I mean, hopefully somewhere along the line, hopefully they come to some type of agreement, because it sure would be nice to have number 26 in the backfield for the Giants. He's just another weapon. Whether he's just a running back or this, he's something that the defense has to pay. And Micah Parsons is right. You have to pay attention to Saquon Barkley. He's a weapon. He's just a running back, but he is a weapon. So I hope they can come to some type of agreement. If they can get him for another 3 or 4 years, that would be absolutely fantastic. Because now you got Waller. You can keep you got Daniel Jones, right? But then you keep Saquon for a few more years, right? And then you keep maybe add another piece to the puzzle next year, maybe another wide receiver or something. Then you'll start. Hopefully we'll start having something. Although I'm kind of excited to see what we're going to do this year too. I mean, I say because Colin Johnson, hopefully he'll be back, because he got injured early last year, so he'll be back, right? We got Sterling Shepard. Hopefully he can make it back. Wan'Dale Robinson, right? We got Paris Campbell. Oh, I'm excited to see him. Jamison Crowder. Okay, we got Isaiah Hodgins. We brought Slayton back, right? So we got Waller and we got Bellinger. We're going to draft another. I'd be shocked if we didn't draft another wide receiver now. Are we going to draft one in the first round? I don't know. We're going to draft one in the second round? I don't know. But if we do in the first 3 or 4 rounds, we'll get somebody who'll be able to be productive. Okay, even if he's not you're not going to get a stud number 1 wide receiver. Just for what I'm saying and hearing all that and everything. But can we get a productive wide receiver? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Addison, is there, maybe they take him, right? I mean, he's good at getting separation. That's what I read, right? I've seen it. So that's what the Giants want, separation, right? And that's something that Golladay doesn't get. I mean, apparently, I guess that was one of the big things with Dable. I mean, he catches the ball 50-50 or whatever, but, I don't want that. I want separation. So, all right. So then the Giants, what the Giants going to do? Okay, in the draft now. Obviously, a lot of what are going to be gone, like Young, Stroud. I'm sure Richardson will probably be gone. Now Levis. I mean, I kind of hear a lot of things about. Be interesting to see where he winds up going. Okay, so you got like the Fab Four. They're going to be probably pretty much gone. All right, but I mean the Giants won't even be, anywhere in the aren't going to be looking for him. Obviously, with pick 20, not going to reach 25. Then the Giants aren't looking for a quarterback at all and everything. But it starts to get a little interesting because you got Tyrod Taylor, right, for one more season. Now, if Tyrod wants to extend his career, I mean, because Tyrod's been around for a while. But he can still be a productive quarterback, backup quarterback, okay? And I got no problem with Tyrod. I'm very happy the Giants got Tyrod, an experienced quarterback who's good with the football, right? So I ain't got no problem at all. I love having Tyrod back there. That's great. That was a great pickup. But he's expensive. Okay. You know, if you need if you got to have a good backup quarterback, we got one. But once again, I said, he comes with a price tag to him. But the Giants only had obviously the two quarterbacks. Now, since Davis Webb retired, right? They want to get somebody, okay, who they can bring on, okay, and develop, right? And would be a good idea, okay, if they were able to do something like that in the draft, okay, and have him sit behind Tyrod and Daniel Jones for at least this year. Now, whether Tyrod comes back next season or not, I don't. Yeah, meaning in 2024, that I don't know. But this year is a good year to draft somebody, okay, and work with them, and hopefully, if you do let Tyrod go, all right, he could possibly be your backup quarterback. All right, so this would be a good draft for the Giants to do that. Okay, now one of the things that's really, really interesting. Okay, you see this Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. Let's see. I guess on this article, Pro Football Network, it just says here, almost everyone is in agreement that there's a substantial drop-off in the 2023 NFL draft quarterback crop after the first four passers. Yeah. So they're talking about is Richardson, who's very raw. Interesting to see who's going to take him. Interesting. Apparently the ceiling for Richardson could be like up to the moon, I guess. But he can also be a bust too. Okay. Standing there in shorts and flinging a ball 70 yards down the field and hitting the guy in the dime, well, that's great. Having 9 guys hanging all over you wanting to rip your head off as you're trying to get your reads and all that stuff and everything and throw the ball with pinpoint accuracy, that's something else. Okay. Looking okay and cool and everything like that in college is one thing, but when you're playing against the best of the best of the best of the best every Sunday, that's something different. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see where he winds up going. But between Stroud and you got Levis, right? And Richardson, okay, and Bryce Young. Okay, so those 4 guys are going to go off the board. All right. But the interesting thing is here with Hooker, he has good size, athleticism and arm talent. He completed almost 70% of his passes in 2022, 27 to 2 touchdown and interception ratio. But the Tennessee offense is not really one that's very compatible, I don't think, to the NFL, like their offense that they run. Okay. He's lauded as a leader, but he's also a 25-year-old rookie coming off a torn ACL who played in a heavily handicapped offense predicted on one-read throws, okay, and unsustainable spacing, okay. He's also surely to go on day 2, but his NFL projection is unclear. So, man, if he's there, okay. Because I've seen what the hell. I got a bunch of tabs open here. Where the hell's Hooker at? I think we got him here. There's one here. Okay. I've seen this other one. The NFL Draft Buzz has Hooker as the 3rd rated. I don't know about that. So much about that. Where is he at? Hooker. Okay. I got CBS. They got Hooker at number 58. Okay. Now, I'm just saying, if he's there for the Giants in the 2nd round, man, he's 25. Really, you start thinking about it. He's going to come out being a rookie, and he's almost as old as Daniel Jones. But, it's like, man, do you take a gamble on, on somebody like him? You get him, you bring him in, you show him the ropes, show him your system and all that. And you bring him along slowly. Okay. You don't have to, he's not the number 1 overall pick. Okay. Here's the ball, buddy. We'll see you at the end of the season. Go have fun. Right. If you throw the interception, just go out there and learn. Right. It's not going to be that way with Hooker. Right. You got Daniel Jones, you got Tyrod Taylor, and you got Hooker. Hooker can be on the sideline. Right. Learning the ways of the system, how to be and act and all that in New York and everything. And wow. It could be special. Do they take a chance on him? Something like that. Because especially because in the second round, you're almost guaranteed that if you draft correctly, you're going to grab somebody, okay, who can be a starter, right? So do you want to take that second round pick, a good solid starter, and use it on a backup quarterback? I don't know. That's that's a good question. That's a tough one. But after that, okay, there's a nice drop off. I mean, the different prospects here. Okay, I mean, between I got CBS, they got Hayner, O'Connell, Toon, McKee, Hall. Then you got Stetson Bennett from Georgia. I mean, Dugan from TCU. Okay, he impressed. He's got some speed too, I'll tell you. But Stetson Bennett from Georgia, I mean, he had almost the best of the best as far as talent. He won a couple of national championships, but let's see here. So Pro Football Network, they got Hayner from Fresno State. Okay. Now he would be like possibly a third or fourth round pick. Somewhere it says here, what do we got? Hayner was incredibly productive with the Bulldogs, amassing over 9,000 passing yards, 67 touchdowns, and just 17 interceptions in 3 years with the program. He's a solid enough athlete with the arm necessary to hold his own, and his anticipation is what will truly lift him up as a stellar safety blanket, right? Somebody like him. Now, as I said, what he is, according to CBS, they got him as, what would that be, like a fourth round pick? Fifth round pick, right? Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. Okay. They have him in the same thing. Okay. Fourth or fifth round pick. I got this Clayton Tune from Houston. Tune was one of the most productive passers in college football over the past 2 seasons with over 7,500 yards, 70 touchdowns to just 20 picks. Okay. Across the span. He's the epitome of a gamer and a gunslinger at quarterback, willing to sell out on the ground for gains as well as take risks with his arms. And he's also quietly an exceptional athlete. Okay. He can be a fifth or sixth round pick. Tanner McKee from Stanford. Tanner McKee could ultimately follow a similar path to Mills' accuracy, mechanics, and operational consistency are all question marks. Okay, yet he's a prototypical pass, 6'6", right? He has a rocket arm and he flashes of anticipation over the middle of the field, right? Then you get Thompson Robinson, Dorian from UCLA. As a prospect, he has leveled out to the point where he may never become a consistent starting talent. He's also undersized, okay? But with his 4.56 speed, he's an adept creator with plays going off the script, and he's shown he can generate ample velocity and hit the tight windows with his arm. Jaron Hall from BYU. It says his accuracy took a noticeable leap forward in 2022, and his ball placement was superb week in and week out, particularly on the boundaries, right? He's only 6 foot tall, though. Hall will be outside of some evaluations' preferred build, right? Because I mean, some guys, want that taller quarterback, and he's not an elite pocket operator. Okay, nevertheless, he's a great athlete, has a solid arm, and can be a valuable buffer at quarterback. Now, I'm saying you're not looking for, somebody, right, who, who can maybe take you to the Super Bowl or anything like that. Right. I mean, you're looking for somebody, who can come in and step in there. Okay. And, be productive. Right. Maybe steal you a win or two if you need to. I mean, if your quarterback gets hurt. Right. So, I mean, there are guys out there who could do that. Okay. There are, I don't know if there's anybody I could see them, especially with 10 picks, I could certainly see him spending a pick on a quarterback in the later rounds. As I said, that Hooker, man, I mean, if he's there in the second round, that would be interesting to see, or just say he winds up falling. Say he's there in the third round. Boy, that might be tough to pass up if he winds up being there, say, in the third round for the Giants, because the possibilities are there for him. Okay. Yeah, obviously after like the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks, all of these guys got question marks. Actually, all of them have question marks. There's no, Trevor Lawrence coming out, right? There's none of those guys. There's a no can't miss guy. You hear about all of these guys. Okay, all of them, right? They all have, even Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. They all have question marks, some question marks to them. Obviously, others have fewer question marks than others. But, as I said, there's no almost guaranteed rock solid start cornerback, coming out in the draft. They said they all have their question marks to them. So whoever the Carolina Panthers wind up taking with the number 1 overall pick, God bless them. I hope they're right because they gave up a lot to get that pick. But as I said, be interesting to see where the Giants wind up taking a quarterback. Now, obviously, there's plenty of guys. There's going to be guys who are going to get released, right? There's undrafted free agents after the draft's over, right? They can probably maybe try to bring in and build up. The thing is, like with the quarterback, and as I said, it doesn't mean that this holds true 100% of the time, but for the most part, if your quarterback, the toughest position in all the sports, period, and you go undrafted, there's a reason why. It's not saying you can't complete a pass in the NFL, not saying you can't throw a touchdown pass in the NFL, not saying you can't gain a first down, not saying that, but if you go undrafted and you're a quarterback, that puts a lot of question marks on you. I mean, I said there's a ton of guys out there, especially as the season goes along and as the roster gets cut down, there's going to be a lot of guys getting let go. They can certainly bring somebody in if they want. But I mean, this would be a good golden opportunity with 10 picks. They only had like 5 picks or 6 or something like that. And they really could use each one for maybe a good quality depth position, like a defensive lineman, backup defensive lineman. Or you want a good quality starter. Then I could see maybe passing, but they got 10 picks. Some of these guys are going to be around in the 5th, 6th round. They're going to take. I'd be hard pressed to see if they don't wind up taking one of these guys, right? But I mean, especially if there's someone, if you're going to let Tyrod go at the end of the season, okay, and have the guy who you draft on the sideline learning the system. Okay, obviously he'll get in there in the preseason games, right? No better time might get him in the preseason, but yeah, have him work his way up and all and everything, right? I mean, as I said, he's not somebody who's going to take you to the Super Bowl. I mean, say Daniel Jones gets hurt. I mean, I guess stranger things can happen, but I mean, for the most part, just to be realistic, I mean, if Daniel Jones gets hurt in the 3rd game of the season, and you got this guy who you just drafted, and you're going to put him in there. It's going to be a little tough for him to take it to the Super Bowl, especially if we draft the guy in the 6th round. So, but, interesting to see where the Giants wind up going with this. I can certainly see him taking a quarterback. And as I said, somebody they can develop, right? And if you got Kafka there and Daboll and all that, that would be be a good system for them to learn. And he said he wouldn't even be the backup. He would be the 3rd stringer. If he's around, in 2024, he might want to be in the backup. Okay. But somebody they can have, and it would be on the cheap. He'll be young. They can develop him. Right. So interesting to see where they wind up going, but I can certainly see it maybe in the 5th, 6th round, because they get 2 picks in the 5th. So between the 5th, 6th, and 7th, 1, 2, 3, they got 6 picks, 2 in the 5th, the 6th rounder, and 3 in the 7th. Right. So I can see between those six picks in those 3 rounds, they can certainly trying to grab a quarterback, because the first 4 picks, right, rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4, I can see him trying to grab guys that either starters or big time contributors, and a quarterback will not be a big time contributor, right? As I said, the only curveball I can kind of say would be that Hendon Hooker. If he's there in the 2nd round, might be a little tempting. Because some guys just slide for whatever reason. If he winds up sliding to say the 3rd round, Hendon Hooker, man, might be tough to pass on him. But we'll have to wait and see. But what do we got? Today's Today's the 15th, soon to be the 16th. We've got about 11 days, about a week and a half, and the freaking draft will be here. Freaking amazing. Before you know it, draft's going to be here. Well, guys, somebody gave me a thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate it. I've been shooting my mouth off for about 40 minutes. Anybody spent any time at all watching me? Thank you. Or if anybody spends any time watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. And Terrence, thank you for the comment, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.